Before the world took shape and meaning, before gods walked among men, before the stars ignited and set the night ablaze, there was only one thing: chaos. No void, no nothing, just chaos. It was more than mere disorder. It was a vast ocean of pure energy, without form or rules, a force pulsing with infinite potential, where everything was possible and nothing was real. And from this primordial chaos, without beginning or end, the god of chaos was born. He was eternal. He was disorder. He was constant change. The god of chaos was not created. He existed forever, the very essence of chaos itself, a force so powerful that even the most ancient gods could not control him. He was neither good nor evil. He simply was. But from the formlessness of chaos, the first sparks of creation were born. And then waves of destruction followed. For from the formless comes the form, and from abundance comes scarcity. The god of chaos gave rise to everything, but also destroyed everything. And in this paradox, life and death alternated in an eternal cycle. His name became synonymous with the unpredictable, with breaking the threads of order, with turning the known into the unknown. And his presence in ancient myths is a constant reminder that order is never complete and chaos is always near, ready to return everything to its primal state. The god of chaos possessed extraordinary powers that allowed him to control both destruction and creation. He could tear worlds apart and give birth to entire universes. He could annihilate gods and create new divinities. In short, he was a force that knew no bounds and transcended good and evil. His form was as fluid and unpredictable as chaos itself, reflecting the ceaseless flux and reflux of the primordial abyss. Sometimes he appeared as a vortex of black smoke that heralded ruin and decay. Other times he was an invisible hand that overturned the established order, introducing elements of chance and hazard into the lives of gods and men. But the god of chaos was not just a destructive force. He was also a source of fertility and renewal. After a great cataclysm, when the earth lay devastated and lifeless, he would breathe life back into it, filling it with new forms of life and reshaping the world according to his inscrutable will. To represent the god of chaos, we find a multitude of symbols, each as enigmatic and multifaceted as the deity himself. First and foremost, there was the broken circle. A perfect circle symbolizes wholeness, unity, and continuity. Now imagine that circle shattering into countless fragments. This image reflects the god of chaos perfectly, because it represents the constant fracturing and remaking of reality. Each shard signifies a new possibility, a new direction, a new story waiting to unfold. This symbol speaks of the endless potential that lies within chaos, as well as the transformative power of destruction. Another potent symbol associated with the god of chaos is the serpent biting its own tail, also known as the Ouroboros. This image is an ancient one, appearing in many cultures and mythologies. The serpent, a creature often linked to chaos and transformation, is engaged in an eternal struggle to devour itself. By consuming its own tail, the serpent devours its past, leaving behind only the present moment. This act of auto-cannibalism signifies rebirth, the shedding of old skins, and the cyclical nature of existence. The Ouroboros reminds us that life is a continuous process of death and renewal. Just as the serpent is both predator and prey, we too are caught in the cycle of destruction and creation. However, the god of chaos is not just a destructive force. He's also a source of immense creativity. In fact, without chaos, the universe as we know it could not exist. Order and chaos are two sides of the same coin. They depend on each other and complement each other. Chaos brings about change, innovation, and the breakdown of old structures, allowing new possibilities to emerge. Consider, for example, the life cycle of a star. A star is born out of a nebula, a vast cloud of dust and gas that is thrown into chaos when a nearby supernova explodes. This explosion introduces the necessary element of randomness that triggers the collapse of the nebula. Without this chaotic event, the star could never have formed. Likewise, the planet we call Earth owes its existence to a series of fortunate coincidences, a delicate balance of conditions that could have easily tipped in the other direction. It was only thanks to these chaotic events that life could emerge and flourish on our planet. It should be noted that the influence of the god of chaos does not stop at the physical world. He also acts on the human psyche, leading individuals to make unexpected decisions, to have sudden bursts of inspiration or impulse, and to change the course of their lives in a single instant. These moments of upheaval can be terrifying, but they can also be liberating. They break the chains of routine and inertia, pushing people out of their comfort zones and forcing them to reinvent themselves. And while some gods welcomed the god of chaos as a necessary agent of change and evolution, others saw him as an enemy, a force that threatened the order and balance of the cosmos. For these deities, chaos was a dangerous rival, a constant threat that needed to be kept in check. Conflicts between gods were not uncommon, with the god of chaos emerging as a central figure. These battles were not merely physical clashes. They were also ideological struggles between those who embraced change and those who sought to preserve the status quo. One of the most epic conflicts involving the god of chaos was the Titanomachi, the war between the Titans and the Olympians in Greek mythology. The Titans represented the old order, a rigid, unchanging system that had grown stagnant. The god of chaos played a pivotal role in this war, weakening the Titans and paving the way for the Olympians to claim their place in the cosmos. The victory of the Olympians, led by Zeus, marked a new era in the history of the universe, an era characterized by greater dynamism, adaptability, and the introduction of new ideas. In another famous myth, the god of chaos was instrumental in the destruction of the great city of Atlantis. According to Plato, the Atlanteans were once a highly advanced civilization, but their arrogance and insatiable greed led to their downfall. The god of chaos, moved by pity or perhaps amusement, unleashed a terrible earthquake and a monstrous tsunami that wiped the city off the face of the earth. This myth serves as a reminder of the fragility of human achievements and the vanity of worldly possessions. The god of chaos appears again in Norse mythology, where he is known as Loki. Loki is a fascinating figure, a trickster god who embodies both the destructive and creative aspects of chaos. His actions often have far-reaching consequences, shaping the destinies of the gods and mortals alike. In modern culture, the god of chaos continues to find expression in literature, movies, and video games. He's often portrayed as a mysterious, enigmatic force, sometimes malevolent, sometimes liberating, but always deeply unsettling. Think of Thanos in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Despite being a villain, Thanos believes he's acting for the greater good. His plan to wipe out half of all life in the universe is driven by a distorted sense of balance and order. He represents the dark side of the god of chaos, a force that seeks to impose its will through destruction and domination. Let's talk about the god of chaos in video games. In the God of War series, Kratos, the main character, is known as the Ghost of Sparta. In his quest for vengeance against the gods of Olympus, Kratos accidentally kills his son, an event that throws him into a state of utter chaos. Overcome with guilt and despair, Kratos sets out on a journey to the realm of the Norse gods, where he must confront not only the wrath of the god of chaos, but also his own inner demons. The god of chaos is a complex, multifaceted figure who defies easy categorization as purely good or evil. He is a force of nature, an agent of change and evolution, a reminder of the fragility of our achievements and the limitations of our understanding. While we may fear his destructive power, we must also acknowledge his creative potential and the vital role he plays in the balance of the cosmos. The god of chaos appears in various cultures under different names and with slightly different attributes, but always as a symbol of primordial chaos, the source from which everything emerged and to which everything will eventually return. Now, here's a question for you. What do you think? Is the god of chaos a force of destruction or a bringer of new life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights are valuable and contribute to a deeper understanding of these timeless myths. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends. Subscribe for more captivating mythological journeys. Thanks for watching. Until next time.